What's up, Sunderland fans? Welcome to Black Cats TV with your hosts, me, Mike, and Conrad. How was that, Conrad? How was that game?
God, it was drab, wasn't it?
Hard to stay enthusiastic sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's two games we've had to sort of sit and suffer through that on. But, you know, still unbeaten. What is it now? 3-4 points clear of Leeds, because Leeds got beat, thankfully. Leeds lost to Millwall. So what are we? Let's do the Googling. You know, as we love a Google.
Are you watching for the positives, though? Because, I mean,
I'm clutching for the positives outside of the match.
You'll take a point when we're a man down at QPR. That's a given. You know, we'll take a point. It's better than a loss. But coming here to Preston, they're 20th in the league. Why are we setting up like that? Surely starting with two new players and players out of position is not the way to go.
Yeah, the most evident thing about it was that when we made those changes of Connolly and Watson off, we were infinitely better and looks like our actual team again. It's a shame that, you know, Isidore went off shortly after, after those two came on, because that's our proper front three. I don't know why I made those changes, really. There didn't seem to be any sort of real reason for it. But, it's maybe one mark down against Labrie, would you say? Just for, like, what was that about?
Yeah, interesting. But how much is Labrie and how much is other influences, I don't know. Charlie Hodgson was the first in the chat. Hi, Charlie. He was joined us on our live stream as well. He said, we're going to suffer since Job is suspended. This show is all about you guys, relatively new channel, so we don't expect millions of people in there, but please get your comments in. Let us know your talking points on the game that you've just witnessed, listened to, or sat there getting updates from, however you've enjoyed the game. What's your thoughts on Connolly? 45 minutes we've seen him for now.
Crap.
Has he changed your mind?
No.
Are you team Connolly yet?
No, like he had in fairness, he actually had the only shot on target that we had, where Hume got in down the right side and he got a little flick on it that the keeper saved with his foot. I haven't seen a proper slow motion of it to see if it was the defender or a combination of both that sort of got it. But do you give him a plus point because he was the only one who had a shot on target in the entire game out of our team? I thought he was poor. I just thought he offered us nothing up front. He didn't hold the ball up. He didn't run into the channels for anything. He didn't give us an option to sort of play it in behind any time. Yeah, he was just there. It was just, that's all I can say. He was just there, and when really we know what Isidore can do up front. We've seen what Mayenda is also kind of capable of up front. So, and those were your better options, surely.
And Watson, we've seen him in bits and bats. We've probably seen him on the pitch more than Connolly this season.
Yeah.
What do you think of him for 45 minutes? I feel like he started well, but it didn't really last.
Yeah, it's he had moments where he was like, getting in and around and showing a bit of his pace and that, but it didn't really seem his sort of game. Every time someone went near him, he fell over like there was a gust of wind or something. He wasn't really strong enough for it. He tracked back well, I will say that. Every time that they got him down the right-hand side with Hume, he was there and sort of putting in challenges and putting in a shift as well. But, sorry, I wouldn't say he impressed me. I'd have rather seen him come off the bench later on and have a bit of a run through and let Mundle have started it, and just gone from that way.
Yeah, I think the changes needed to come sooner than they did. Charlie says, I feel Preston was the better side today. Oh, I'm not sure I'd go that far, but yeah, we definitely didn't. We gave them more respect than they deserve, I think. Coffee Goblins in the house. So 7 unbeaten, another clean sheet, 4th from Moore. That's a good point on Moore, because considering Patterson should be fit on Saturday, Moore keeper place.
4th clean sheet.
According to Coffee Goblin,
Oxford, QPR, this one.
Has he played before that, though?
He did. We played against Preston and he lost 2-0.
Yeah. Anyway, still 3 in a row. Either
we'll
way.
Go 4. Yeah, we'll say 4.
Does he lose his place? I mean, he was actually called upon today. Cracking save.
He did. He made an absolute cracking save in the first half, which he tipped well over the bar, where we sort of switched off for a few seconds before half time. I think you still put Patterson back in, but it's like we said on our channel video the other week. You've got a great deputy in there. It's a bit when we had Craig Gordon and Martin Fulop, or Darren Ward and Martin Fulop. You knew, or Mark Poom and Thomas Myra. You had two great keepers in there. You weren't worried about a guy who's never kicked a professional football in his life.
Yeah.
Coming in out of nowhere and being like, yep, I'm starting today, lads. It's my go. And we're like, oh, Jesus, like, what's going on here? Who's this guy? Like we were with, was it Bishop at the end of last season?
I think it might help Patterson come on and develop better. The two people competing for that spot. He's not had that for a while, like you say, properly. Charlie said Watson's not ready. I don't think Watson or Connolly were ready to start that game. I expected a big bounce back today after the QPR game, and changing so much, I think, was Labry's first mistake in my eyes. First proper mistake, I can say, as a manager. Interesting choice, but
I think the mistake was more putting Isidore out on the left. Yeah, it's a bit like, if you're going to change the front three, don't move our most threatening player and our top scorer out of the way. If you want to put Mayenda in, if you want to put Connolly in for a change, that's fine. But then you had at 60 minutes to be able to say, Isidore, Mundell, and Roberts, you're all back on. That would have been, the one.
Charlie says Connolly can play left wing. So why was Isidore pushed out of position anyway?
Yeah, exactly. And it was, funnily enough, it was a bit more of a physical game. And you thought, well, that would have suited him better. I mean, granted, he's not the most physical, Isidore, but he certainly offers more than Connolly would have done.
Guys, there's about 11 of you in here, not many, but really do appreciate you being here. Smash the like button, share this content out, share the channel out. It's all brand new, so the more people we can get on board, the better. This channel's all about you guys. Valtteri Vrinin? Oh, God. Anyway, Val says, while unbeaten in 7 is impressive, we have to start stringing together spells of good performances to get promoted. Good results won't come playing like this in the long run. Consistency is key. Can we afford to drop points at places like Preston and QPR if we really want to challenge for first?
No, you can't. But, I mean, other teams that are in the top have lost to these lot and, dropped more points than that. Like, the main thing is we're not getting beat. And that's a positive out of it. Even if I'm taking the game out of the entire context, we're not beaten, and we just didn't play well. And if you actually think about the last 5 games, so you've got Hull, Luton, QPR, Preston, and I'm missing one, Oxford.
Yeah,
Oxford. We've played well, really well in one of them. Played pretty well against Luton. The other 3,
Luton, well. You've just got to withstand the fight, right?
Yeah, Luton, you played well because you withstood their onslaught rather than you were actually just better than them. Whereas Hull, we didn't play well, but we nicked it. And then in these 2 games, red card in one of them, fair enough. This one, we didn't play well and we didn't nick it. We didn't really look like threatening or scoring at any point.
This is the thing, which is unusual because Coffee Goblin says QPR felt like a loss. This feels like a win. I tend to think the other way around on that because the QPR, we were down to 10 men. I was like, oh, God, we're going to lose this. So it felt like a win by the end of it. But this one feels like a wasted opportunity to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's the QPR one felt like okay, we take that, considering where we were. And that we had a man down. That was the one that's like, okay, I take it as a win. Not that I think of it as a win. I take it for what it is, which is we didn't lose. We had 10 men for a long period of time. This one feels a bit more difficult to take just because of like we said.
It's our own setup mistakes.
Yeah.
For me. That's the whole thing. Because, I mean, you saw how intense we played in the second half compared to the first half. And after them changes were made and Roberts came in and Mundell, it wasn't just a case of them 2 players made all the difference. They seemed to give the rest of the team the confidence.
Yeah, no, they did. And it seemed to give us a lot more energy going forward. It seemed to give the rest of the players a bit of a lift, if you want, to sort of come back into it there. But too little, too late, really. And I appreciate if he was trying, say, let's mix it up, maybe get them on in the second half while they're tiring. We put on our fresh legs, as it were, but it just didn't work.
Feels like you shouldn't be dropping points at these games. Coventry next, says Charlie, which is be a tough opponent. We won't go too much into that. I think we'll do our own little preview of that game at some point soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Suburban Preppers says, evening. He's obviously come over from my prepper channel there at Suburban Preppers. Thank you for being here. I've liked and subbed. Much appreciated, Charlie. I still hate Luton. We all can feel with that one. Jamie Redmond, you might tell me otherwise because I was mainly listening, but it sounded like nearly every time Dan Neil touched the ball, possession was lost one way or another. What do you think of Dan Neil's performance today, Jamie Redmond? I don't think you're far wrong there, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's like we said, it wasn't hideous or anything. Did he give the ball away a good few times? Yes, but so did, everyone at times. I think Ian Wilkinson on our other channel, who's a regular commenter on SAFC Fan TV, said a similar thing of we can't string more than 2 passes together, really. So there was it wasn't just him, but there was a couple of times that shot at the end, which was disappointing. There was, the bit where he's running through and he just didn't move his feet and the ball just rolled away from him, and you're just a bit like, just get get the basics right, and we'd have been all right. And
everyone was
not his best game.
Everyone was a bit hesitant to pull the trigger in the box though in that last half hour, weren't they? But
it was not his best, not his worst.
I still think it's the armband. He's played differently since he's got that armband, and it doesn't do him justice.
Could be, you don't know. It wasn't his best game, wasn't his worst. And to be honest, he was missing a vital cog in our team next to him in Joe Bellingham today for the first time. So I think that as we said during the game, there was a big difference in our team without Joe Bellingham. We were missing our engine.
Yeah. Coffee Goblin says it looks like us, Leeds, or Sheffield United for top 2 at the moment. If we're dropping points at like games like this in QPR, can we possibly challenge for top 2? I know we're top at the moment, but
Leeds just lost to Millwall.
Yeah, but it feels like we should save these 0-0 draws for more competitive teams when we play against Sheffield United again and stuff like that.
But that's what I'm saying. Leeds are getting beat by someone like Millwall, who's still all right because they beat Burnley beforehand as well. But we're not getting beat. Granted, we didn't play very well, but we didn't get beat. We didn't lose. We still picked up a point and we move on. And we went away from that. Like, what have we lost? We've lost a scrappy end-to-end game against Plymouth, where we didn't play very well. A dodgy mistake against Watford, and we lost that game. And apart from that, we haven't been beat. No one's outclassed us and battered us in any game. Leeds was the hardest test we faced, and I actually thought, God, they're better than us in this game. But we still held on, and Melier thankfully chucked one in for us.
What do you guys think about Neil? Because we've got some controversial contrasting comments in here about Neil. We've got Charlie says Neil has been crap all season. He could try pull second half off the season, but for now he needs to be benched. 09 was a better captain. He follows that up with Val says can't afford to bench Neil at the moment.
That's a good point.
With Job out, that's the issue there.
Interestingly enough, though, Sunderland, Sheffield United, Leeds have all lost 2 games each. Whereas so have Burnley, though, but Burnley have obviously won a game less and played a game less as well than everybody else so far. Yeah. So if Burnley win that game, they're on the same points as Leeds United as well. So there could be 4 of us still in it.
Yeah, old Sunderland would be losing. Unbeaten in 7 is good. Draw your away games, win your home games.
Yeah, and that's why that Hull one was such a massive result, really, because we played a bit like this. We didn't play well, but we won it, and we nicked it from them. And you just sort of wish, could we have done that today? And if we'd have, say, drawn with QPR, not had 10 men, you'd have been really disappointed. But like Coffee Goblin said, you come to that and you go, okay, didn't play well, didn't lose. Hull didn't play well. We won it. You're going to get games where you do win them. You're going to get games where you don't. But as long as we're not getting beat, we're doing okay. If it hadn't been for Neil's silly tackle against Watford, we weren't getting beat in that game. If it hadn't been for a deflection and us being a bit naive at the end of that Plymouth game, we wouldn't have got beat.
Sheffield United closing that gap, though. They're looking very dangerous, I think. They're looking more dangerous than Leeds and Burnley, I think, at the moment.
They had a 2 point deducted as well at the start of the season, so they should
be. They would be tied points. Yeah, they would be tied points with us. We would be on goal difference, still top.
Yeah.
But without that deduction, they would be level with us. So I think they look like to be our biggest threat at the moment. Cheers to everyone for being here. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and share the content out more than anything else, because the channel's new. It's quite small, so it relies on you guys to get it out there to other fans so we can grow. And if anybody's on the way back from Preston, we'd love to hear from you as well. We didn't deserve the win against Hull, says Charlie Hodgson. I mean,
no, exactly. That's the point. That we didn't, but we got it. Tonight we didn't deserve the win, but we didn't get it. You know,
who got us the win against Hull? The guy you took off.
Isidore. Oh, well, he went off in that game too.
Mienda coming on for the last 10 minutes. Did you expect much?
No. He was really good against Chef Wed. Thought he was really good against Burnley. A couple of chances where he should have shot, but he didn't. And against Portsmouth, I thought he was very good, very threatening. Is he as good as Isidore? No. He's not as good as Isidore. And like we said, we shouldn't have made the sacrifice of taking away our best attacking option and forcing him out left side just to try something new.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to try Connolly or you're going to try Watson as a start. It should have been one of them.
Yeah, and like I said, you either take Isidore out at the beginning and go, I'm giving Connolly 45.
But even then, would you want to try any of these changes with Job out? Wouldn't you wait for him to be back and you've got Job and Rigg back in? Then, right, okay, now we're full strength again. Let's try and experiment a bit more.
Potentially, yeah.
If you're going to give them 45 minutes, give them the second 45 minutes if we're a goal up or if we're 2 goals up.
It's just, we said it when the teams came out, we were all a bit like, we don't like this, doesn't seem right. And, nothing went wrong.
Good night, Charlie.
But nothing really went right either. Yeah. It was sort of a failed experiment in Connolly. And what we've seen from Watson is you're a bit soft and you're a bit raw at the minute still.
Yeah, definitely. So, good night, Charlie. He's off to bed. Thank you, Mum.
Yeah, tell your mum thanks for letting you stay up, yeah.
So, I mean, there's not much else to say. Who is your man of the match for that one? It's a difficult one.
Probably someone like Sirkin. I thought he was pretty good all game. Didn't really do much wrong. Charging forward when he needed to, always in position at left back. I would have given it to someone like Meppin again, but the yellow card and the foul in the first half, I just sort of think, actually, you put us under a bit there. Moore was really good as well. Made a cracking save, a really good save.
That one.
Yeah, because at half time that was 30 seconds from the end, so it was one of those ones don't concede right on half time. That would have been a hideous one to go in with. I can't give it to any of the midfielders because I don't think their passing was very good. And I can't give it to any of the front 3 that started because I didn't think they were very good. Granted, Isidore was forced out of position.
Yeah. 13 of you in here at the moment. Let us know your man of the match. Coffee Goblin says it's more for him, or he's questioning, should it be more?
All 13 of you, please subscribe. Give us a like as well, please. Please. I've seen it's gone up by 4, but that's not 13.
It's good stuff. The others might be regulars.
Yeah.
Regulars to our second ever show.
Yeah.
We'll be doing this after each game or when we can, when we're available. More so to get the aftermath because we still do the live commentaries over on SAFC Fan TV. But we find after the game, people want to come and have a rant. So we've set this up for you to do that. It's just letting people know it's here. It's going to be the difficult bit.
Yeah, we've got to get the word out somehow. So regular plugs on the channel and bits and pieces like that as well. So yeah.
And when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to have some stuff to give away. So far, it is the third strip, the one that we were unsure about.
It's
blue.
actually nice. It's actually nice, isn't it? It's just not as nice as the other two, but it's nice.
Yeah, well, we've got one of them to give away when we hit 1,000 subs, so that's one thing. So we'll hopefully have some other stuff by then as well.
That'd be good. What did you think of it, Mike? Who was your man of the match?
I agree with Val. Sirkin was my man of the match. Definitely, he says the same thing there, and it's just he didn't put a foot wrong, but he's also got that grit. He's very similar to 09 in that way, where when somebody needs to step up, he's there. He's cutting off that pass, and he's not just cutting it off. He's making a run with it. You know what I mean? He gives another attacking option when he needs to.
Definitely. I'd have liked to have seen a full game with him and Mundle, because for that half an hour, they looked like they were linking up quite well, and it's just a shame that there was only half an hour and not, 90 minutes or so.
It's kind of like why I liked Huggins when he was playing, because he gave you that attacking option as well and could make that run. Sirkin's definitely coming to his own this season, as far as I'm concerned. I know he's never been bad, but staying fit and playing.
Staying fit is the main thing. Just making sure he doesn't pick up any injuries or anything is a big deal for us.
Massive. So, yeah. Labrie today, if you have to give a review on him.
I just think he got his team lineup wrong, and might have been for resting some of the front three, but we only had one game left to go, and they were going to get it. Well, Roberts isn't going away with England. Mundle isn't going away anywhere. Isidore isn't going away anywhere. They were going to get a rest anyway. You could have given them extra bit of time off then and gone, look, you've got 2 more games to get through. As Philly on Fan TV always says, he goes, I'm not having it that these young lads can't play twice a week or 3 times a week. It's ridiculous.
They've got Coventry on this Saturday, though, right?
Yeah.
Before the break. So
that'll be a hard game, especially the way we've played the last 2.
He's got to go out full
Do
squad.
we play better against the better teams, though?
Yeah, I've always said that. And that's not a new thing this season. That's a Sunderland thing since,
the dawn of time.
Since the dawn of time. Back in the Premier League days.
Even when we won the FA Cup in 1973, we were a league below, but we beat them.
Yeah, and we'll step up against United. We'll step up against City when we're in the Premier League, and then we'll lose against,
Forest. No, Forest third. Forest the third in the Prem, so you can't say Forest. Everton.
Forest then. Or Everton then, So, but you know what I mean? It's just, we've always done that. We've always played to the level we're playing against. And I don't know how you change that. Because it feels like
a bit like on the lower scale of it. Last night I was playing 5-a-side. First time I've played with these guys. And they walked in and they're all in their sort of gear. And I was like, oh, shit, these look good. And then they were like, so are you like really good or something? I was like, no, I'm absolutely shocking. Like, really am. But I had to sort of step up to sort of make it seem like I wasn't out of it. And after 5 minutes, I'd been nutmegged twice, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm falling apart here." And then after that, I megged someone rolling it through and put it in the far corner. And even I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I've done this." And then they didn't really get much past me at that point in defence, and I was like, I made sure I played up, because I was like, you're going to get steamrolled here, and that must be what Sunderland do as well. That you're in for a tough battle against the better teams, so you bring your A game.
So do you think it's more of an attitude in the dressing room of going, oh yeah, we should walk this. We're top of the league and they're 20th.
Potentially it could be. But I don't know that the front three really confused me today. I don't really know what we were trying to achieve with that.
Yeah,
it's a little insulting to sort of, like, if you think about it, one way is, it's only Preston, they're near the bottom, let's stick our youngster on in Watson, and a player who's only had like a cameo 20 minutes every now and again. And
he didn't impress me at all. And
no,
I'm trying to be optimistic about Connolly, and I watched the little piece that Sunderland did on him about his struggles that he's had and stuff like that. And
I wish him all the best.
The human interest side. So I watched all that. So I really wanted him to do well, but just at moments he was just backing off into players and falling over, and it was just pathetic a bit.
Yeah, it's I want him to do well. I want him to prove me wrong, and I want him to score bags of goals and be an absolute legend for us. I just don't see it.
Yeah,
from what I've seen so far, I just don't see it happening.
Dave Common in the chat says, poor game.
Dave the
Sunderland
Rave.
next game. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Poor game, Sunderland. Next game, Sunderland v Coventry City. Well, like I say, could step up against a better performance. Ahmad is back in December.
It's not even how you spell it, but yes, he is. I have to keep teasing my mate about that. That I'm like, oh, he's still not starting. He supports Man United, and he's like, I know he should be. He will next week. And then when he doesn't, I'm like, oh, he's still not playing. Oh, you see his Instagram post? It was about us, not you.
Yeah, he's talking about Salis, right?
Oh, I thought you meant Amad Diallo.
Wrong team, Conrad.
Yeah,
wrong
but
team.
we are going to get Amad back in January.
Do you think?
Yeah. He's not playing at United.
I know, but I don't
Fuck
think
it. Let's throw 30 mil at it. Imagine that we go. We don't spend any money. We don't spend money, and then all of a sudden they just go bang, dick on the table, £30 million.
Dick on the table.
Balls on the table. Bam.
He looks Salis looks good though, right?
He looks good carrying a big body bag up a hill.
Yeah, but I mean,
he does. I saw on X yesterday some Liverpool fan had put some highlights together saying this is the DM we need to replace not Fabinho that they had, and it was him, and it was like from 2023 in January, and it was like, and now he's playing for us, and you're sitting there going, right, fucking hell, if we can get this guy fit and playing, like he looks absolute class, and clearly other teams in the higher up sort of places were looking at him.
Yeah, well, he says December in his interview, right? That he'd be ready by December. And we've got after the 9th, we've got what, a 2-week break?
Yeah,
so potentially we've only got 2 more games and he could be back in.
Yeah, exactly.
In, he could be in.
Yeah. Does
Neil get a look in after that? Who do you drop? If he is as good as
out of that, if Job's still off in those games, if you think Job's going to be off for the first one back, you drop Brown, I think, and you move Neil slightly forward, and Salis sits as your sitter.
And when everyone's back and everyone's fit,
you drop Neil.
Captain.
Yeah, but you drop Neil. Because you're not dropping Job, you're not dropping Rig, and if Salis is really good and proves himself, you're not dropping him. You change the formation to make sure Neil plays.
It meant the forward player that we got. What was his bloody name?
Abdullahi.
Abdullahi. Yeah. Quick Googling there by Coffee.
Yeah, well done. Got there in the end.
I don't know.
I said, Val. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish the best for Conley, but he's shown nothing so far. But, give him time. He's getting back into the game. I just think he needs more. We should, if he's committed to doing it, just let him sit with the reserves for a while. Let him be a consistent player for the reserves, Conley.
Yeah.
And build him up that way if he's willing to do that.
I hope so, but I just don't see it.
Don't see it. He's still ahead of Rusin. He's still ahead of Rusin on the pick.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
About.
And that doesn't take much though, really.
No.
Can you kick a football in any direction? No. Great, you're ahead of Rusin.
Well, I think we're covered most of the game. I think unless there's any more questions or comments coming in, which it's gone a bit quiet at the moment, I think that's it. Is anything else you want to cover?
For everybody. It's a school night, isn't it? So even Charlie went off early.
Yeah, it is.
I think we've covered most of that from the game. There wasn't a lot of talking points. You got Moore's save. You got Connolly's chance, if you can call it a chance, really. Apart from that, it was a pretty drab game. Yeah. What's Val just put there?
Yeah, he said if it's obvious that he isn't up for it, then I don't think captaincy should buy you a season ticket to the starting 11. I agree completely. Speaking of Football Manager, when you start a game, if you change the captain straight away, you get it in the neck off the team, right? So you've got to keep the captains. Within 3 games, my captain it doesn't make the team at all.
Yeah.
I just signed so many better players. So
yeah,
I tend to agree for that very reason.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I think that's it. Nice 30-minute aftermath show.
Yeah. We're doing the same on Saturday, or trying every game, I imagine.
Saturday, I'll be doing commentary alone. Is it on Saturday?
Yes, you'll be doing commentary alone. I might be back to talk about the aftermath. Potentially not. We'll see how it goes.
Get back.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try. Depends how many.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll have drunk Conrad on the channel. It's not a problem.
You'll be like, "What do you think of the game?" Be like, "I didn't even see it."
Fucking shit.
Yeah, we won 4-0. It's not good enough.
But yeah, really do appreciate every one of you that's come and joined us. Like I say, channel's very new, and we're relying on you guys to like, subscribe, share the content, have a look through, and engage with us. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to see from the channel. Keep it clean. Val says, just before we go, we'll be drunk off my ass on Saturday, but see you after Millwall. Good, nice one, Val. Look forward to it. Would you like to say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah, thanks for joining, everyone. Tell your friends about it. The channel, it's very new. It's in its infancy, but yeah, we're putting a lot of stuff out. So if you want to see more of me and Mike's ramblings on about Sunderland, you know where to find us now.
There you go. All right. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you later.
Bye.